The current model of social housing allows for almost all publicly funded housing to be sold into private ownership. So what would happen with universal public housing? Who would own it? Well, the chronic shortage of public housing is one of the key drivers of the current housing crisis. There just isn't enough public housing to match the number of people that need it. As a result, hundreds of thousands of people who should be living in public housing are instead living in the private rental sector. And in many cases, the state is picking up the bill via HAP, RAS and other forms of housing benefit. This has created billions of euros of additional artificial demand in the private rental sector, which in turn is helping to drive up rents and house prices. The chronic lack of public housing has been caused by the selling off of public housing by successive Dublin governments. Close to 250,000 homes, or almost 2/3 of all public housing that ever has been built, has been sold into private ownership. The entire policy of selling off public housing is being driven by a combination of a right-wing ideology and electoral politics, as the establishment parties trade short-term votes for long-term housing chaos. Universal public housing will put an end to this insanity by keeping all existing and all new public housing in permanent public ownership. Instead of building public housing that gets sold on to the lucky few after a few years, uphousing would ensure that all publicly built housing would be kept in public ownership and used to provide secure, affordable homes for many decades to come. The ban on the sale of public housing is one of the fundamental differences between uphousing and the current system of social housing. The state has the land, the finances, the legal powers, the expertise and other resources to make uphousing a reality. The only thing that's missing is political will. If you're ready to work with like-minded people to build popular support in the community for uphousing and to build a political will to make it happen, I'd strongly encourage you to join Éirígí and join us today.